Welcome to Off Air Talks. I'm Sierra Yaschuk, and my goodness, we are in a pretty cool space today, Lisa.
Yes, I am Lisa McGregor, and we are in Shawn Kanungo's world now. The AI and innovation keynote speaker joins us. And I don't want to say welcome because we see every day and we share a workspace, but it's been great sharing that space with you in Good Space. And thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no, I feel like we're like family now. And, you know, I see you guys all the time. And it's been such a pleasure just getting to know you guys. You guys are so down to earth and genuine. And honestly, when you started this pod, I was like, this is going to be like the biggest pod ever because you guys are having such great conversations. I'm a big fan of the pod. I've listened to every single episode. I know everything about you guys. Okay?
Well, not everything.
Not yet.
We're going to dodge some questions today because this is about you.
Well, listen, I just want to make this conversational because I think that's what the pod is really all about.
Right.
But I'm just excited to be here.
Can we talk about one thing here is the sound. So you have a full crew with you, which is such a luxury for us.
It really is.
We were listening back to our first episode. It literally is like this underwater.
Horrific.
I don't even know how people listened. Like, I don't know how you were like, this is going to take off.
I know, like,
episode
well,
Lulu.
I'm always, first of all, you guys are way too, because you guys are professionals, I think you guys are way too just dialed in on every little aspect of this thing. Like, I think people they're forgiving. And this is going to develop over time, right? The sound's going to get better. The video's going to get better. And I think if you're not embarrassed with anything that you start with in life, if you're not embarrassed by the first episode or the first thing that you do, then you're not improving, you're not evolving. And you look at like how much you guys have evolved even over all these episodes. I mean, it's incredible.
Well, this one is real. I don't know how we're ever going to...
It's downhill from here, by the way.
Yeah, seriously. What about your first episode? When did that start? Talk a little bit about your journey. And do you look back and you're like, oh my gosh.
I mean, I look back at even like one of my first talks that I've ever given, and they are so bad. I remember like pacing like crazy and like because I want to emulate Chris Rock, so I was like pacing all the time. I don't even know what I was saying. It was completely embarrassing, and I've like unlisted it on my YouTube because that's how embarrassing it was. But even when we started a pod for the first time, like it's just embarrassing. So I think if you're not embarrassed, you're not working hard enough, and I think that is just that's what evolution is all about.
And not putting yourself out there. I think we've even talked about this when we first moved in here and started talking, is that at the end of the day, perfection is boring, and as long as the content's good, and I think that's something you were really talking about, is that maybe the audio's a little shoddy, maybe the camera angle's a little bad, but as long as it's like the personality and who you are and your authenticity is shining through, and I think that's probably why you are where you're at, because you kept on being yourself and improving in different ways, I would assume.
Yeah, I think people just want to just connect with you as an individual. And I think one of the beautiful things about a podcast or just putting yourself out on social media is that you can build that trust and that loyalty and that affinity. And, and I think you guys already know that because when you started this, like most people, when they start a pod, it's like, it's crickets because the pod space is so saturated.
Yeah.
But because you guys are coming in with like kind of like a built-in audience from mainstream media, and we were just talking about this, people were so excited when you guys launched, and having that built-in audience come in is such an advantage because you already have that trust and loyalty. People are watching you every single day, right? And you have that.
We were super blessed with that. I mean, we say all the time, if we didn't have the followers and the listeners that we had before, even on social media of our own accounts, we definitely wouldn't be where we are. I mean, like you said, some podcasts are starting out and they've got 200, 300 views. And our first ever one where we sound underwater, I think is at like 10,000, which is crazy. But that's also because we have such amazing people here in Edmonton and throughout Alberta.
And by the way, some of your clips pop off. When you talk about restaurants in Edmonton, they just they blow up on TikTok.
Who knew?
You never really know where it's going to go. I mean, it's so bizarre, but it's also so fun. And I think what's cool about this avenue is, I mean, it's so new for us, despite our background being in television. It's like you get to show a whole nother side of yourself, and even you're getting to know yourself. Like, I opening up in ways I never thought I ever would online, but it's been really fun. I'm curious, in terms of your background, how do you become a keynote speaker? Like, what is that, so people are aware?
And an AI one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it starts, but It's funny because I worked at a company called Deloitte for 12 years, and I was doing a lot of their digital transformation and innovation work, basically tech work. And, people wanted to hear about the work, right? So I would get on a stage and some client would be like, hey, we have a conference, we have a workshop. And then I would do those events. And then, one of the key aspects was to record the content. I would create all this content. I would create like 45, 60 minutes of content, and I was going to put it up online because I'm putting all this effort anyways. More people should see it.
Like a presentation, but...
A presentation.
Right, okay.
And then so I just started to put up my presentations online, and then more people started to watch it, say, hey, we have a conference, we have an event. Can you talk about that thing that you're talking about around digital and tech and all that? And so over time, I actually all I've been doing is just running the same playbook, which is I do a talk, I do a keynote, and then I record it, and then I put up online. And my whole thing is that if you can put out content that helps people, where somebody can do something around it, people are going to share it, and they're going to love it, and they're going to save it, and they're going to do something with it. And the greatest thing for me is like when people come and they message me, or I see them in person, they say, hey, I love what you said. I'm implementing that within my business, and it's created value. I mean, that's the best thing. I just want to do that all day long. It's incredible.
That's amazing. It's actually interesting because so we just met Shawn, but I knew of Shawn probably like 10 to 15 years ago. So when I was back in the day working at CBC Edmonton, I just moved back from Australia and I got a job there like part-time, and I was like wanting some creative flow. I don't know. It's a weird time, but I took this class at Citadel. It's like this fun acting class, and this guy named Shawn was in it, and we totally hit it off and became buds. We were like partners in it, I guess you could say. And I remember him talking about his buddy and showing me videos like, oh, my buddy's doing this like event or whatever. And I remember like seeing the video, maybe it's from social media, his social media. And then I didn't at the time. I think keynote speaking wasn't really a thing that you talk about. It wasn't even like really a thing. And I don't know what it was, but you put on a huge event, which was really cool. And then flashback, and when I saw you here, I was like, I remember like
that's crazy.
Shawn showing me, and like
full circle moment.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wild.
Yeah, Shawn's one of my best buds, and one of the cool things about Z is that he's like meant for this. I would say, just personality. Like, he's got a great personality. He can act. He can talk. He had a show on Sportsnet called Cricket Report.
He was a cricket announcer
Yeah.
or play-by-play
Yeah,
guy. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Out of Edmonton?
Out of Edmonton. I don't even know. It was called the Cricket Report. Anyways, it was great. And yeah, he's a creative guy. He's one of my best friends. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, small world.
Seriously, in Edmonton, we keep I'm from Moose Jaw. Like, I am not from Alberta or even Edmonton.
But you still know everyone.
But yeah, it's crazy. People come together, you meet somebody, then that segues into meeting somebody else, and soon you know the entire city. So
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. It's kind of interesting too, just to see like how you've developed your space. Would you say like what is it? You're big on YouTube, or you're big in terms of being called to go to these conferences? Like, you're traveling every other day
all the time.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like this week on Monday I was in Nashville. Tuesday I was in Dallas. Yesterday I was in Vegas. I landed last night.
That's
I'm here. Yeah. So to me, I have an agency, Speaker Spotlight, and we, they're sort of my back end. They help book, all these events.
Like, how many events do you think that you would do a year, or you did last year?
Yeah, the last couple of years I've done 76, and then this year
insane.
I'll probably do more than that, like maybe 80 to 90.
And you have a family as well.
I got three
wife.
kids. I got a 9, 6, and 2-year-old, and we have good infrastructure at home, and it's funny because it can be incredibly flexible, right? Like this week, I'm at 3 events, but like there's gonna be some months where I'm like December or the end of November or July or August, or I'm like here the whole time. So it just ebbs and flows. Like some weeks are hot where it's like multiple cities, and then some weeks are not, and then it's completely flexible. It's kind of like I feel like I'm kind of like a professional athlete in a way, where I have off season and I travel a lot. But the seasons when I'm off, I'm off.
And when you go on these trips too, it's like a quick overnighter to the next. So you're not staying there for extended periods of time, like weeks.
It's literally a night.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm really locked in the night before. Like I'm always like
You're not
in my-
getting bottle service at the
No,
club.
I'm in my hotel. I was in Vegas. Like I was in Vegas 2 nights ago, and the client was like, "What'd you do last night?" I went to bed at 9:00.
Yeah.
And I went to the gym in the morning. Like to me, I don't care where I am.
Right.
I'm like locked in because it's a job, and I'm trying to make the presentation the best presentation that they've ever heard in their entire life, because it could be my last. So I was put as much just effort to making those things as customized, as impactful as possible. And yeah, it just takes so much to create a 60-minute like performance. I can't
mean,
describe
you're
it.
up there talking to yourself, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Can't be hungover for that. You need your full energy, especially like you have full energy all the time. Like it's so good.
Yeah. Well, and
you
it's-
are on all the time. It's very impressive.
Well, I appreciate it. Well, you guys know about this because you know because of your guys' backgrounds as well. But I feel like I just love what I do, and that is what gives me energy. Like I travel all the time. People are like, oh, like I'll travel to Asia or Europe, and then I'll come back, and I got. To me, the travel doesn't bother me because I love this work. I mean, what a privilege to be able to get on a stage, impact people like in that stage, and then also through content being able to impact more people because they'll see the content and they'll be like, hey, that's a cool idea. Let me implement that. Like, so I'm just blessed.
And not many people can say they're doing their dream job. I mean, I think I always thought my dream job was TV, and little did I know deep down there was something more that I wanted.
Yeah.
And this is now our dream job, I would say. And
Yeah.
and it's paid off for you because you have a really big event that's coming up. Tell us about the one you're doing at the Oslo.
Yeah, this
one.
is so exciting.
So there's a couple there's a lot of events that I do, and there's always like a cool lineup, but this I'm doing an event in it's called the Nordic Business Forum and the Oslo Business Forum. And the reason why it's so cool for me is that when I got into this space, I used to watch keynotes, and there were some keynotes that I watched from the Nordic Business Forum and Oslo Business Forum that were like super impactful for me. So Seth Godin, Jim Collins, just watching these guys on these incredible stages, like one of the best stages in the world. I'm like, man, it would be amazing to be there one day. And then I got the news like over the last couple of months that, I'm going to be on this stage. And
So cool.
like Oprah, Stephen Bartlett, like some other people like Seth Godin and Angela Duckworth, people that I, have their books and I deeply respect. Just like
You're sharing
super
a
honored.
stage.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So, and I'm born and raised in Edmonton, Alberta, and just to do something on a global platform like that is really cool. And I always try to rep Edmonton wherever I go. And yeah, I just think that, I remember early in my career, somebody told me, and somebody always told me this, that you have to move out of Edmonton. You have to move to Toronto. You have to go to New York.
Totally.
Oh, we
to-
have heard that
to-
our whole
to-
lives.
to make an
100%.
impact.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe, but I believe today, like you can create an impact no matter where you live.
Yeah.
It's almost better when you're in a city like that.
I agree. I think this is the greatest city to live in the world, and I will always live here. And I just think that you can make a global impact just living in Edmonton, and you don't need to move.
Oh,
Why, did people tell you guys to move?
No, all the time. Like,
well,
look,
you're in for Moose Jaw. How many people on Moose Jaw?
34,000
Wow.
and stays kind of around there. We got a lot of old people
Yeah.
in Moose Jaw.
But you also have a lot of. It's crazy that people that come out of Moose Jaw.
For sure. I mean, half of my friend group, one lives in Miami. She's super successful. The other, she's traveling in Europe. Her husband plays hockey there. Like, my brother, he's now in Boston. Like, people move out of Moose Jaw, but it's still a place that grounds you and brings good people. And I kind of feel that's the same as Edmonton. Yes, it's definitely a bigger scale, but the people in Edmonton are so genuine and they just want to help each other, lift each other up. And I've seen that. I think that's why I love it so much here as well. Like, even in TV, people would be like, you have to go to New York, you have to go to LA.
Yeah.
Well, look at LA, all the influencers that think that they have to move to LA, but then you're just saturated. There's 8,000
Yeah.
influencers.
Same content.
It's the exact same thing. So I think that if you stay in these smaller centers like us, still Edmonton's not a smaller center, but you know what I mean? It's very impactful and you can still do unbelievable work.
And as someone who I think I could give some good advice to people that, like, I did leave Edmonton, and I always thought, like, as soon as I was, I think, 19 or 20, I moved to Calgary, and then I spent a couple years there, and then I went to Australia for a couple years, and I traveled, and then I came back to Edmonton, and then I left again and went to Calgary. And I will say, I always was like, Oh, Edmonton, like I didn't have a hate on for it, but I always thought like I had to leave and it was a better space elsewhere. And yet every time I left, I was always like drawn back.
Yep.
Even when I lived in Calgary, like I started dating someone in Edmonton, or even when there was always a draw, or you'd come back for the weekend to see your friends. And I will say, and I still hate it sometimes when you come home, but now that I've come back and I've been here probably for 6.5 years now, I am shocked. Like, if anyone's like, oh, I hate Edmonton, your perspective can change. And I always told myself, I'm like, I don't think it's Edmonton. I think it's like my mentality. And I finally am like, wow, I am in love with this city. Like I fell back in love. I'm like, is that how people are when they're about to get divorced? Like there is hope. I fall back in love. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. Like I love this city. The opportunity is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's incredible what you can do and build up. And then there's something so special about running into people you grew up with out at the game, or the supporters for you are deep rooted, because it's like I grew up in Ottawa, and like I had a friend that was like, oh, I was really proud of you, Lisa, and it just felt so nice, and your family's here, and you go to the bars that people or fun events, and it's like,
Do you feel that too? Like
the support is
Well, one thing, I mean,
where you run into people like high school friends, people are like, this is
100%.
insane at what you've done.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I will say though, it is a little bit. So like one of the things I hate is I hate doing an event in Edmonton, because I don't hate it. I actually love it, but there's just like when the mystery is gone, when you know someone.
Yeah.
And like, oh yeah, man, I went to high school with that. Oh yeah, I see that guy at Movati at the gym. There's the impact of the message for some reason gets lessened when
mirage,
you're doing an event in Edmonton. I don't know why. It's just like I get more nervous doing a presentation in Edmonton. I don't know why.
It's like talking in front of people you know.
Exactly.
It's a tough crowd to crack. Like as supportive as Edmonton is, it's also like they will see through your bullshit. They're kind of like, they're almost the hardest people to prove yourself to if you want to like build a company or whatever, because they're just kind of like, they're tough love, I guess you could say.
I don't know. It's like when you say something to your significant other, like something that they should do, like, I don't know, something around health or their business or whatever, sometimes they'll be like, yeah, whatever. But if somebody with like an English accent comes from another city and says the same thing, and they're like, yes, like I always say this, like it's like the Jay Shetty effect. It's like my wife will hear something that I have told her to do, and then she'll watch it on some clip that Jay Shetty said. I said the same thing, but Jay Shetty is just a better looking guy with a better accent, and he can. That's the Jay Shetty effect. Somebody else,
so true.
That
somebody
is
coming in, anyways.
And it's like shinier things. It's kind of like the grass is always greener.
Yeah,
right?
I think, and that's why I love going to like other places, like Europe or I'm in the States all the time, and they'll be like, oh, this Canadian. Like he's, this is
Right?
He's the light. He's the way.
So, anyways, going back to it, like I just, I was listening to another pod that you had with Carolyn, and just for people to create content in Edmonton and being able to do that on a global stage is insane. It's
She
amazing.
is absolutely crushing it. It is so cool to watch her. And I mean, she was hating her life in Toronto, right? And she never thought she would move here either. And now absolutely loves it. And
She's blowing everyone out of the water.
And by the way, like somebody's got to go back to that and clip what she said in that pod, by the way, which is like she had this like dream of like
the email
being the person at the World Cup, and like the email like that. I had goosebumps like listening to that episode, and it's just it's a beautiful reminder that you have to continuously bet on yourself, and great things will come.
Well, we've definitely, I've been struggling with that. Lisa pushes me for sure, but just putting yourself out there, asking people for like sponsorship, or do you want to collab doing this? I don't know why, but I have a tough time doing that. But we're in an industry now where you need to fight for yourself and know your worth. And I think that in previous jobs, our worth was kind of just like hammered down, and we just felt
like the MO.
We felt like you were replaceable. It's like, oh well, you can't come in, you're quitting. That's fine. There's 8,000 other people out there. It's like, are there though? So I think that part of this journey for us too is just building up our self-esteem, which sounds kind of funny, but we've had a lot to repair because we're pushing ourselves now. We're on our own.
And it's interesting because, I think it has to do a lot with women. Like as women, you're always like almost too humble, where you don't want to ask for anything, and you feel bad, and you don't know the value you bring. And I think when we're coming from the industry we did, it was very much like, oh, you're never good enough, or you're replaceable. And whenever you ask for something, it was like, well, actually, they'll bring up stuff that is so like out of left field that was never an issue until you're asking for a raise or whatever. And you were just really beat down made to feel like you're sometimes nothing and you have no value. Meanwhile, you're on the flip side. They're like using your face and using this for profit to a certain degree.
And you're seeing none of that.
None of that.
Nothing. And
but you're told you're like useless or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy because you think that you treat your employees like being like, build them up so that they do a great job and they are full of confidence. But it's just such a mind fuck, if you will, of that. But when you're out of it, you're like, oh my goodness, like this is not real life. And now we're learning that it's like, no, we do bring something to the table. And in terms of sponsorship and people like hearing us talk on the show and selling yourself, but also
when did you guys realize that power dynamic where you were like, hey, wait, we have way more value? Is it after you left, or was it like when you were still there?
No, definitely no.
Out of the bubble.
Yeah, it's like you're drinking the Kool-Aid. Everyone's in this bubble. You talk to them and you're like, how can you not see this until you're out of it? Yeah. So, I mean, a couple episodes, like the thing with live TV is you're doing a live show and it's gone. You don't have to worry about seeing that again unless someone's recorded it.
And you're not really talking about yourself.
I guess, but you guys were also developing your social media sort of platforms along the way too. So didn't you feel like you were developing some sort of
but we couldn't use anything because they own your name.
So kudos to Sierra. She still was really good about building her brand the best she could, or she was allowed to. So, you really got a head start on that because that's your generation. But even no one realizes like how restricted you still were.
Like the amount of times I almost got written up for doing like posting, you weren't allowed to take like Starbucks. Like you go to Starbucks, don't take Starbucks. It looks like they're paying for it. It's like, come on.
Meanwhile,
everyone
there's an
goes
ad
to
in the
freaking
corner.
Starbucks. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? So you definitely have to be more cautious. But then when we did the first couple episodes of the pod, we're like, oh my gosh, this lives online. Like people can go so that's scary. But then the feedback started coming in, and even we meet you, Shawn, and you're like, you guys have something. Like little comments like that slowly started to come in, and they still do. And I think that's really helped us and our confidence and build us up. So,
well, I just think that, and the reason why I'm asking this question is, in my first book, it's called The Bold Ones. And it's this idea that I believe that people follow people, not institutions or firms. And I feel like when somebody watches somebody on television, what they're really doing is they're watching those personalities. And those personalities have way more power than you can imagine. Or if I look at somebody that, is an accountant at a firm or a consultant or a marketer, you want to work with the people, not just the actual company. And I think that transition between, people will follow more people, they'll follow creators, they'll follow influencers. And I think those people are going to become the next entrepreneurs because that's who we trust at the end of the day. And so I just think that we have way more power than we actually think. And people are watching a show because of the personalities. And I just, it's a mindset shift.
So you really realize it too, when you say about like the storytelling, the people, is that, I mean, even brands now, they're having to do storytelling. But one thing too, Sierra and I were talking about the other night, when we went to the Oilers Summit,
And by the way, let me tell you something about the Oilers Summit, okay?
You tell them.
I saw that the Oilers had an influencer summit.
Yes.
And, didn't get an invite. Didn't
you know how many people you heard that from?
Yeah, and I want to DM, and I just want to give a shout out. If the Oilers are watching this, listen, I'd like it. I got a couple people following me. I would like an invite to the next one. That'd be great.
You deserve it.
Yeah, I want a Kanungo Oilers, jersey on the back. That'd be great. Well, no, I'm joking. I'm totally joking.
Don't. You deserve to be there. You'd be a fun person.
Manifest it. You just did. You put it out there. Yeah. You will be there next year.
Nice.
But on that note too, is that when we were there, again, it never felt so treated so well and appreciated. But it was interesting because I think we forget that, you get caught up in like seeing influencers, this and that. They're literally just like, that's where they started, or they come from a different background of corporate or whatever, and then they just started doing videos. Whereas like we're journalists, we're broadcasters, we've done a lot of different things. We've hosted events, and we forget that it's like, we're now kind of content creators, if you will, and still journalists, but like we're bringing that to the table as well, and that experience of talking to people and writing stories and producing and edit. Like we did all that. People don't realize, like we shot with cameras, we edited, we produced. Like there was a time where I remember when I worked in Calgary, like I was writing like a 20-minute newscast or sports one time, live at an event, editing the clips together. 2 seconds later, I'm live on air. Like they have no idea in this day and age, unfortunately, how much went into it and how much you're kind of like your own thing. But we forget that that's what we bring into it. And it's on top of like personality and storytelling. So it really, we try not to sell ourselves short anymore. And same for you. We'll see you at the summit, I'm sure, next year.
So does that piss you off though, that you see like you guys gone through all the grind of doing the editing, the writing, getting on camera, having all this traditional media around you, and then somebody can just flip open their phone and just do like a dance or like say something prophetic on a camera, and they get millions of views? And does that piss you off?
Oh, do you know what? That's a great question.
That's more tailored to Sarah too, because I think your style.
Why? I just whip up. I wish I could do a dance. Sometimes I'm like, Lisa, let's do this trend. She's like, absolutely not.
You are more of
you
an
need to be.
influencer
You
than I
need
am.
to be original. But yeah, of course. But also too, that's just the way that it is. Like, I don't really know how to answer this, because we did see a couple girls at the influencer summit.
Yes.
They are making millions, and
Yeah.
they're doing that.
Good, God bless
They're
them.
doing a dance. They're making it happen. So unfortunately, that's just the way that it is. And the younger generation, they love that. What do they call it? Brain rot? Like where you're just scrolling.
Yeah.
It's absolutely nothing. So I don't know. I think it's just the way that this generation is, and you can't really. I don't really have an answer to that. Like it doesn't really make me feel anything.
You did kind of answer too, because you talk about authenticity. Like there is no other Syria I took. Like even when that's why I harp on her, because I'm like, I get when you see, like, to be fair, that is a way younger generation where it is about the dances. It is about maybe wearing your bra online. Like that's not
a little
something.
risque.
It is a little risque, but like that. At the end of the day, that isn't you anyways. And I think that isn't me. And I think we are in an interesting time in terms of like flipping on the camera. One thing that's amazing about now is like you don't need the fancy cameras, the fancy cameraman. Like even when we worked at our last job, like you were putting Zoom interviews up on television that had like you could barely hear it or see it. And that's on the flip side, how amazing is that like anything goes nowadays. So
Yeah,
I think
that's true.
I think it's just like,
So you're not pissed about it?
No.
I personally am just like, I know that's
I
not
think
who
it's
I am.
impressive.
Trust who you are.
Good, yeah.
Like if you can shake your booty at 16 and make millions, like, hey, I wish.
But if that's what you wanted to do, like you would do it. See, like I think it's just
A lot of
you do
people have
you.
asked why Lisa and I haven't started an OnlyFans, and that's just really not us.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah,
I wouldn't sell my soul like
we've
that.
heard it. Yeah, we've heard it all. Like you really.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta start an OF. I don't know
You-
how many
you-
people
you
signed.
should.
You could. I mean, I'm sure.
I can see you shaking it
wow,
on stage,
nice.
guys. This
Yeah.
is not the conference you came for.
Well, we were talking about earlier, like
Can I just ask? Nobody seriously asked you if you guys were going to start.
yeah, they do.
You should see our DMs.
they also
it's
think we're a
crazy.
couple.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Oh,
ask,
wow.
ask
Well,
my-
you guys kind of are a couple. Like you guys
Oh,
are.
we're quite.
You guys are always.
Have you seen
together? So.
Do you know what? It keeps popping up. It must be my algorithm. It's showing like the quality of life, how it actually changes when you spend best time with your best friend over
100%.
your partner or your boyfriend. I believe it.
Sorry. What? So what is the stat?
It's 80% of people say that you are happier when you see your best friend over your partner. Because they
Wow.
just bring your morale up. You feel more comfortable with them. You just have a different relationship. And I keep seeing it. 80% is significant.
That's amazing.
But I feel like that could be quite true.
Oh, I think having the relationship we do, it's really. Well, you can speak to that as a married person. Like it's changed my life in so many positive ways, and it's just like I can't imagine my life without Sierra now. I mean, it's just been so uplifting.
Trying to make me
and-
cry?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
But with you, like,
amazing.
I mean, again, your job as a keynote speaker, like we were saying, is that it's a solo mission. Like, as much as you meet all these interesting people on the road, like you're kind of working alone. Like you're
Yeah,
working
do you
from
feel
home.
alone ever?
You know what? I guess I'm lucky. Just I don't know. Maybe being born and raised in Edmonton, that we have like an incredible network of friends and people
You have a
around
team.
us, and have a team, and like just good friends. And I'm always like. I've always been the person that is kind of like reaching out and trying to make plans and stuff like that. So it is. I'm so engrossed in the work when I'm there. Like to me, it's a job. Like I'm
Right,
going.
yeah.
I'm going to work. If I'm in a plane, I'm going to work and I'm doing my thing. And so I'm not even thinking about like the fact that I am alone. I don't really feel that alone. Maybe it's because I'm enjoying the work, and I just have good friends and I have an amazing family and an incredible wife, and
Yeah.
so I really am. I am really. I swear to God, like I am I am incredibly grateful for what I have, and I don't know how I'm gonna get happier than where I am right now. Like
Wow.
my kids are amazing. They're healthy. They're happy. My wife is healthy and happy. I mean, like what else are you gonna ask for? I have great friends. It's amazing.
Your support system really is everything
Yeah.
from your work to your family to your
Yeah,
friends.
but
So that's great to hear.
I think one of the things that has hurt me because of my work is that I really don't get those like weekday hangs.
Yeah.
The garbage time is what Jerry Seinfeld
Yeah,
calls it. Yeah.
and
The
like
what?
what I've been
Garbage
noticing.
time.
So I'm
It's the best time.
So what I realize is that I'm 41 now, and a lot of my friends are like getting into like, I don't know. We're getting older, right? So they're getting into like pickleball or golf.
Yeah.
And for me to get into golf, that's like a 5-hour commitment during the day. I really don't have that time, and I want to. And like I see guys like they're going on golf trips or they're going to the range or whatever. Like I really don't have time for that, and I am missing out in a way. So it does pain me that because of my crazy schedule, I can't do those things that a lot of the guys are doing. So I'm not gonna lie to you. It is it is.
It's like you feel FOMO a little bit.
Yeah, definitely, because. And it's not like I don't want to take up golf. It's like I just, with the 3 kids and the schedule, I just don't have time.
But you're also building an empire right now. So
Yeah.
you're 41 and you can't play golf and pickle. But hey,
Later.
when you're 50 and you are retired and you've built that empire, you can play all the pickle and golf you want.
I hope so. I guess. Yeah.
I don't think you will be doing that. I mean, I will. I don't think. You will.
What is that?
I don't think you will
I
be.
love pickleball.
You might be right.
He's always going to be working, and
Yeah,
that's okay. Like I think.
Yeah,
when I
work
think-
in the court.
No, but I think
You're right. I do love work. I love coming up with new ideas. I love doing different things. So you might be right.
I also just think when I think back to moments where I was saying to Sierra, I've never felt so like in it, like present, living, like you're living in your dream. Whereas I think sometimes, especially in our business where it's always like you're trying to look for the next best thing, you got to climb the ladder. Like that is just the job. You're constantly like every week I would be making a demo reel. Okay, where am I going next? Or what do I need to do? And that's after a while, it's exhausting. But I think of times with friends, and as great as it is, if you're not doing what you want to be doing, you're kind of like not present in those moments. So like,
Right.
It's not that fun. Like I think, it sucks you can't go play pickleball all day, but I don't know if you'd be fully invested anyways. So like the things you are invested is family and time with your wife or whatever that's important to you. And when you do eventually maybe go have those games, like how fun will it be when you're like everything else is lined up outside of that?
I agree. I think also, I don't know if you ever feel this, but I feel like I'm like in a window of opportunity right now, right?
Absolutely.
And I got to maximize this opportunity as much as possible. And I don't know when it's going to close. It might close tomorrow. I don't know. But at this moment, I need to maximize this opportunity. And I don't know how many moments in my life that I'm going to have like this window where I can take a shot and like and make such an impact with the platform and all the things that I'm doing right now. I think you can create your own windows, but really, and I feel like I'm in the window. So it's like I want to maximize this opportunity as much as possible, and still like be there for my friends and my family and etc. But just like I need to run right now.
But there's not very many people that are doing what you're doing. So
Right.
you are in the right place at the right time, because this is, especially with AI. Like, so how did
Yeah.
you work that in? Like, for
Yeah,
people,
it's funny
for people that have no idea.
Yeah, guys.
Like
AI,
my parents.
AI is coming.
You were ahead of the game.
Yeah, way ahead.
When I was at this other company, Deloitte, what we would do is we would implement this thing called, now I'm getting too technical, but this thing called RPA, robotic process automation. Basically, it was like dumb AI. Okay, it was dumb bots.
Okay.
So even at that point, this was back in like 2016, 2017, even at that point, I had never seen something more impactful to a business than running these like automated bots.
Wow.
And I'm like, wait, this is so impactful. And then over time, seeing the revolution, and as the AI became more sophisticated, and now with generative AI or agentic AI, that many people are talking about, like so I've always been in this space, And I've always been a practitioner, a tactician, and helping organizations with it. And now we're at a point where now everyone is talking about it. Like your mother and your father
And
are
they don't
talking
even,
about
but they
it.
don't even know what they're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
They're like, what is it?
Yeah, and I think it is the most important technology of our lifetime. Like we can't even see it because we're so inundated by all this noise, but we are like, this is the industrial revolution times 1,000.
Yeah.
And this is the most important technology that we've ever seen. This is going to impact every single job, every career, every industry. And yeah, there's going to be tons of changes over the next 5 years.
Like what?
I think
what's the biggest
I think
change?
every single job, every single knowledge worker job is going to fundamentally reimagine because AI can now do so much. And it doesn't mean that it's going to take jobs, but it's going to change people's jobs. If you're an accountant and you're not leveraging, AI to, create the analysis or, do a 24/7 audit or transactions. If you're a marketer that is not leveraging AI to create, some, graphical elements or to help you with SEO or to, help you write scripts, like, you're going to fall behind.
Mm-hmm.
Like every job is going to change because of this. And I think it's exciting because for the longest time, like we've designed businesses around processes and technologies, but we've never really designed it around our individual strengths and talents. And I think for the first time in human history, AI is actually working for us. So like it actually amplifies your strengths. So let's say you're a person that you love connecting with people, you love talking with people, but you hate back-end work. You don't want to enter information into a system. Well, now you have an AI agent that can do that. Or let's say you're like an engineer and you love like being in the details, but you can't visualize your ideas. By the way, we have an AI agent that can do that. So like, it's like every part of the thing that you don't love to do, you can get an AI to help you out so that it can amplify your talents and strengths. And so I think the best thing that everybody can do is just find out what you're good at.
Yeah.
And then get the AI to do the things that you don't want to do. Like this is such a great time to live.
Yeah.
Getting information too.
That was great advice. Wow.
And I think it's relatable too, because I think sometimes the average person, maybe a teacher or maybe like an accountant or someone that thinks, oh yeah, AI is coming, but like not in my world. And it's like, what you're saying is it's every single
Wake
job.
up. It's there.
Exactly. And my advice always, if you are scared of this technology, my advice is to work scared until you become scary. Meaning,
Love that.
Say that again.
Work scared until you become scary. It's this idea that
Boom.
the more that you like build a muscle in this particular space, the more that you like understand the space, the less scary it's going to be. And then you're going to be like, oh my God, I can do so much. I can create so much more opportunities for myself if I understand this, and I'm going to be more dangerous as a person. I believe that, somebody that can understand these technologies, and build this skill set will be actually the most valuable person in their company. And to be honest with you, they will be the most valuable person in any company. Like if you want to really future-proof your career, learn AI and develop the skills and the latest, and you will be unstoppable.
Then you can really become a weapon. My favorite word.
Oh yeah, weapon. Usually
weapon.
use it in a different way though.
So I love the idea. So my next book that's coming out, not until next year, but traditional publishing is slow. But it's called The Most Dangerous Person in the Room.
Oh,
and
love it.
and to me, the idea of the most dangerous person in the room is somebody that is like, they understand all the tools and technologies, but they also understand human beings and how to navigate like status and hierarchy and structure and power and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's super excited about it.
It is crazy too, because I feel like I only started getting into AI like maybe within the last year or two, and even I realized how behind I was. It's kind of like when I finally got a LinkedIn account, you're like, oh wow, I was like decades late to this. But there are people that have not even kind of tapped into ChatGPT and all these things.
Yeah.
Like, what would you say to those people who are just kind of choosing the road less of almost ignorance because they're kind of afraid of it?
Okay, wait. I heard something about chat.
Yeah,
That
ChatGPT, yeah.
Yes, that we are making this device like dumber because people ask it so many stupid questions that it started off way more intelligent, and that the human population is making it essentially stupider every day. Have you heard that?
I have not heard that. It certainly is based on,
What
the input
color
that we-
is the sky?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
oh, okay.
No, definitely. It definitely learns from our questions, but I don't think that it's making us dumber in a way. I think, or I don't think it's getting dumber, but maybe I haven't heard that.
Okay.
I just believe that, there's going to be so many different, it's called a large language model, like LLM. there's going to be so many. There's like Grok and Gemini and ChatGPT and Claude, and you can just bounce. If you think that one is getting dumber, you can ask another one, basically.
Yeah, I would clarify though. I think when we think of AI, maybe we're the idiots, but
No.
I think ChatGPT is AI, and then is there a whole nother avenue of things that people don't really realize of like all that exists in the AI world that can be used, not just ChatGPT?
Yeah, I mean, I think ChatGPT and Google has this thing called Gemini. There's another company.
Yeah, I haven't tried Gemini.
Yeah, Gemini is amazing too. I mean, another company called Anthropic, they have their large language model is Claude, which is very similar to ChatGPT. Grok, so Elon's Grok, they have their own large language model as well. And each one of them can basically do the same thing as ChatGPT. Some are better than others, but for the most part, instead of what we're doing is we're moving from this era where we enter information into a chat box to a world where it can actually go off and get stuff done for you. And I think that that's the most exciting part, is that it can like work in your local folders. Guys, the last 2 weeks, I've had this like epiphany because I've been using this innovation called OpenClaw, and it's basically like having a 24/7 AI agent at your fingertips. You can ask it for anything, and it will continuously work overnight. It started to, I said, be as proactive as possible. It created its own voice. I'm
What
not
do you mean,
even
like, hey, build me a website, or hey, can you book? Like, what do you mean? It's working for you? Like, I think we're getting stuck.
I'm chatting with it through a messaging, just like an iMessage or WhatsApp, and this was through Telegram, and I connect it to these different large language models, and now I can ask it to do anything. Go research this thing for me, and I connect it, or go make this graphic for me, and it will just go and do it.
So Lisa's desktop is absolutely terrifying. It is so many different.
Then do you want to start editing and doing audio, Sierra?
No, I don't.
Well, I would say
no. I want to ask. Could you ask it to be like, hey,
clean it up,
clean this up, put this in folders?
100%.
Wow.
100%.
Okay, I gotta now I'm doing it.
That's
Don't turn this on me.
That's a standard. That's definitely a standard.
Wow.
That's definitely a standard use case. But yeah, the things that you can do today is you can have like a 24/7 AI agent that can work for you. And this is where we are today. We are sitting in this era right now where we basically have what they call artificial general intelligence. Now, many people will say like that's going to happen a lot later. Like, I actually believe if somebody in 1,000 years, if people look back at this period, be like, yeah, this kind of started during this time.
Wow.
There's not a singular moment when AGI is going to happen. I actually think that we're here right now, and just seeing what OpenClaw has been doing, giving you a 24/7 AI agent that can get stuff done. Like,
is it reliable though? Like, I remember ChatGPT. Like, sometimes you ask it to create a graph, and you really have to go fine tooth comb in through it's correct.
I think in the beginning it was hallucinating a lot, but now it's getting better and better over time. It's showing it's showing your sources. I mean, you should always check it. It's not always going to be perfect, just like an employee or an intern or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, you always have to check it. But I mean, it's getting really, really good.
Interesting.
So, but what it can help us with is right now, like, I think what you guys are doing around content, like, to me, this is about like taste and aesthetics. And, the part of the reason why I love doing things like this, where it's like highly produced and this is actually looking amazing, is because I don't think that you're ever going to replace something that looks hard. Like, this looks hard to do. Like, we have multiple cameras. There's a nice audio. I believe in this idea of like putting in extraordinary effort and taste and aesthetics, and like, the reason why I think your pod is so cool is that it's about authenticity and being genuine. And when the world is inundated by like AI slop and people can create AI stuff, I actually think that this is what's going to shine. Like, I want to learn about like peptides, or like, I want to learn about like the things that happen during the week and your birthday party in Montreal. Like, I want to hear about like.
We're like, why do you want to know about this? Yeah.
No, I'm curious.
But I mean, you can also tell nowadays which sets are AI. So I get what you're saying. Is you can tell that this set is original and it's set up and it's not AI, which is super cool.
And I think too, going back to just being authentic is, there's so much that AI can do and help out and save you time and even doing the research aspects. But there at no point, just like they say in movies, like at no point can you take away the content and the authenticity of that. Like no one can create what Sierra and I have together, the chemistry
Exactly.
we have, the conversations and just connections with people.
I actually believe what you're doing right now could never be replaced by AI. And actually, in an AI world, this becomes way more like valuable. So I actually think that the smartest thing that you can do right now is like build your brand, build your authenticity, create content, and in like 10 years, like you guys are going to become so valuable that like it's just because people will build so much trust with you, right?
This is why we're so lucky to be in Good Space, because we get to meet people like you. Like you underestimate how good that feels. Even when we first met you, like just building up our confidence and we even said after we were talking, you were like, wow, he like genuinely believes we're good. And then we start laughing. We're like, the joke's on that, but we really, it just means so much and it builds our confidence.
I'm going to give you some advice, okay?
Yes.
I'm going to give you some advice. I'm going to give
Yes.
you some advice, okay? When it comes to this pod, all right? I think that the people listen to this, and by the way, if you got to this part of this pod, okay, subscribe, rate, review, whatever you got to do to get to this. If you are here at this point, because these girls are putting in the work.
But also pump your own tires too.
No. Okay, so but my advice is that forget the guests. Okay. Forget the guests. We want more.
Says the guest.
More of you guys and your stories and your conversations. And I want to know more about your love lives. I want to know more about like, you know, things that you guys are interested in, hot topics. Like
interesting.
I think that's why people are tuning in.
Well, do you know what? It is true. I mean, we've posted, obviously had some great guests. Very lucky that they've trusted us to come in, but the ones that blow up is just Lisa and I. So yeah. We'll keep it going.
It's also interesting hearing from a guy that you're wanting to hear the tea on that kind of stuff.
Well, to be honest with you, I really, you know, if you look at the podcast space, there's so many, like it's dominated by men, and there are not that many females that are doing this at a high level that are being incredibly genuine and unique and authentic. And it's just nice to hear from a female perspective of, you know, what the things that they're seeing. And I love when you guys are chatting about like things that, you know, I don't know.
Like men on the
relationships
ellipticals.
and like,
just kidding.
like I want to know about Raya. Like I want to know about what's going on with I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to.
Wait, we'll give you some more tea on that. But first, before you get into that, when you say like on a high level, because yes, the podcast space is dominated by men, even on the local level, but a lot of them, like especially in Edmonton, it's either politics or it's sports. And then the higher level, the guys that have podcasts, they always have guests on. So when you say do it at a high level, are you saying like when we do reach that level, it should be like us still shooting the shit or bringing in guests? I guess, what do you...
or like a little bit of both, or just ditch the guests altogether?
I think you should ditch the guests altogether, because I think what you're building is something that's more global than just Edmonton. I think, I just think that Edmonton is great. But like, and you know, getting guests, and of course you're gonna go and you're gonna travel more, and I'm sure you're gonna go to Montreal, you're gonna meet some cool people, or you're gonna go to other places, you're gonna go to Italy, and you're gonna meet some cool people. Like I definitely, you know, interviewing those people. But really, you guys are doing something in Edmonton that has a global platform, and I think anybody around the world can hear your guys' voices and just be like, yeah, I love these girls, and I just can see you guys just, you know, like selling out like an arena or like a theater or something like that. And just like doing your pod and just talking about things that you guys are interested in. I'm trying to give a comp. Like, you know, if I even look at other podcasts,
we've been compared to Giggly Squad.
But I see your point.
You need to look that up.
Like
think about like the Call Her Daddy one, like in a way, all her podcasts mostly are... she's bringing on guests, but what got her started was literally her and a friend talking.
And I think part of the reason why Alex Cooper had to go to interview folks is because she didn't have Sophia anymore. So she needed somebody to bounce something off of, and she could have got another girl, but in this case she got another, you know, she got interviewees. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, like, who cares what anybody else is doing? It's like create your own lane at the end of the day.
No, I love this.
And it's like, yeah, I mean, I would love to hear from like the guests once in a while, but I think it's like a hang. I look at some of the, you know, for example, there's some podcasts, there's millions of podcasts out there, but, like Flagrant. Do you know like Andrew Schultz? Anyways, he's a big comedian.
Yep.
They have guests on, but like people really love like when all the guys are just chatting about guy
Barstool.
stuff.
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah,
Like Biz
Barstool.
and them and
Yeah, they're
Ryan Whitney. They just literally, and it's on
chiclets.
Yeah.
But and I think
Yes.
what I love is when the guest comes in and they're just like part of the hang, right? They're part of the
Right.
conversation. Anyways,
should
that's
bring
my
Keiko on.
Don't
Well,
take.
yeah, I think it's kind of like what you're doing with us today. Like, I see what you're trying to get across is like you didn't want it to be like how the other guests were. It's like we're just hanging out, which is
We're all getting to know each other. We're all telling stories.
Yeah, exactly. Like
yeah.
I love it.
and I think that's like I just want to know more about you guys. That's the thing.
Hey, he wants to know a little tea. I love that.
Give me some tea, by the way. Like I was asking you guys.
Everybody
about you
wants
guys,
to know the tea. I know.
because you've been you have been not as vocal about your relationship. Because we want to know if you guys are single, what's going on, like what's going on in your relationships, you're dating. And so, we want to know. We want to know. The crowd wants to know what's going on.
I mean, I think they already know that I'm the one that's single here. I'm definitely.
Well, apparently you and I are in a relationship. Sorry.
So what is the
Sierra,
what
you have
is
to
the
try
dating
harder
scene-
to get me.
What is the dating scene like? We want to know.
I think I'm a brutal person to ask because I'm just not someone, like I'm pretty cutthroat in terms of just like, I'm so fiercely independent that it's all, and I grew up like single mom. Like I think I never really saw the priority of a partner, which is good in some ways, terrible in other ways. So I don't, like I really have to try to like make it a priority, and I have tried to do that. It's tough. It's always been tough in Edmonton. I think dating, everyone, and I think we're in the age of apps.
Yeah.
I've always been on Raya, which is kind of like this bougie app where it's like has really interesting people and really like all around hot people, successful, and like all around the world. But I mean, I don't.
Wow, sounds terrible.
No one's
just bougie, hot
I know.
people. Wow,
It's great.
Sounds...
It's great when you're traveling. Like I've gone on some really fun dates in like Paris and New York, and like it's great in that way. But to actually form a connection,
You gotta let me talk. We gotta get you on some trips. We gotta get you
Talk a big
flown
game.
out.
Sierra talks a big game because like when she is single, which is like hard for her to like, we'll get into her side of things.
Yes.
No, we don't have enough time for that.
Okay.
We gotta wrap it up right after you.
Save your
We're
wrap
running
up.
out of time.
No,
We're running
save
out of
your wrap
time.
ups. There's no wrap up here.
There
I
is.
controlled that today. You
okay.
can agree to it. But like, it's easy for someone in the silence, like, oh, just do this, do that. But like, again, I'm not the type that's just gonna like fly out with someone I don't know, and I really need to know somebody. I mean, it takes me a lot to even want to go on a date with someone. Like I screen quite aggressively, and I feel like I could get the ick very easily. Like I made a point recently to like.
What's an ick? What's an ick? What's a Lisa ick?
I mean,
Do you have a list? Do you have a list? Do you have a notes?
I feel bad. Like I just think I can easily get turned off. Like if someone's consistently messaging you, it's like, give me a second to reply back. Ick, bye. Or if it's like, or if their social media is kind of weird, like, I don't know.
You look beautiful today.
okay.
Lisa's
Okay,
like,
okay, okay.
bye.
I don't want to put myself in a position where I go on a date with someone and they're like totally different than who they are. Like I'm pretty skeptical of it. I've tried to just be like, no, don't. But I'm a journalist. Like, of course I'm going to like cover my
Go
bases.
back to what is the ick on social media when you see a guy? Selfies?
Oh yeah. If he takes all these selfies and he's like, oh, what if he has a filter on a selfie, or if it's like too many gym things? Okay, I got a really funny.
Too
ick,
many
actually.
gym things? Okay.
this is a funny weird ick, but like, so now I've been on the apps in Edmonton, and I feel bad. Like, I'm no offense to people, but like, I'm not trying to put anyone down, but like, this is a small one. Remember the phase? Oh, I forgot my earrings today. I just realized. The phase where you put like an earring in and you stretch out your earlobe? Like, remember when we were
Yes.
younger, that was a thing?
Yes.
Well, like, grown men are still doing that, and like, ick, that's gross.
Yeah.
So, like, you have some like giant.
Very specific ick. I like it.
Well, I'm seeing them all over. social media.
You're
I'm like,
about to get
"That's weird."
absolutely
Oh, they're gonna do
roasted.
this. I think it's weird. Like, I don't like it. And so, like stupid stuff like that really. And also, if I'm being
Too
really
many gym things?
like, if you're literally at 50 selfies, you're at the gym.
Yeah,
Right.
you're like shirts off. You're just
Right.
It's just
tarps
like
off.
that's not gonna.
Flexing.
What's a good social media? If I'm a single guy, what's a good social media public profile that I'd be like, you know what? This is like a nice like.
We
friends,
probably have
family,
different ones.
dogs.
Hey, what about that really good looking guy in LA? That's perfect. He's like shows him in his nice outfits, him doing life.
Which one?
The hot one that you met
let's
at
mention
Waste
his
Management.
name specifically
The
on the
hot
pod.
one that
Oh, that hot one.
yeah, him.
Oh my goodness.
That's like the
That was-
perfect profile.
Okay, that guy. He just had like an aura about him.
Nice.
And he had like, he's fashions like just with friends, like just a normal Instagram, like creative, but there's no like weird selfies. It's just like with friends. And if you have a professional photo, it's like not cringe. It's just like a normal, you're showing your outfit or something like that. But what he does was like in fashion. So I think it's just for dudes. It's like, how do you explain it? Like you're just not.
You're normal.
You're also not vain. Like if a guy is doing stuff that like, I mean, even as a woman, like I don't take selfies every day. No offense to those who do, but like that's okay too.
I don't have Snapchat anymore. I don't take selfies every day. Thank you very much.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know.
What are you looking for? You looking for a tall guy, single with
she likes
swimmer's body,
dark Italian men. With an accent.
I've always dated blondes though.
Okay.
I feel for whatever reason on Raya, European men are like what I always match with.
Yeah.
So I clearly am a look for them as well.
But she always ends up with these weird guys that just take it over the edge to the next limit, and then they just start sending her rogue things that girls don't want to see, and she gets these guys every single time.
I get the biggest weirdos. Like
they literally will like just whip their pants down and send her videos. Like nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, it's weird.
And
I don't put it out there.
She's the one that gets them. It's
weirdos.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like she's a magnet to it.
But then I've met some really interesting people, but I
think you're 8 for 8.
I just get like,
damn.
I call this guy. I'll call this guy he went to the great school in Boston? Harvard. I almost
that one.
I call
Harvard,
him like the
yeah.
Harvard flasher.
Nice.
Because it's just like, oh my God, like I didn't ask for this, and like, am I getting to know you or something? It's like, I think we're in an age now where, as great as virtual and being away and stuff is, and because I've always done long distance, I think maybe women are more like maybe they're used to women that are more like, oh, I'm going to send you like a picture of this out of the gate. And to me, I'm just like, why do you think this is okay? And they're just weird dudes. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I would say what I'm looking for, it's hard because I'm older. So I don't want to date someone with kids at this point. Maybe at one point I will, but I waited so long to meet someone where it's like, I'm number one. I don't want to be second, and I want to have kids with someone. So I think, but beggars can't be choosers. That when you get to a certain age, you can't restrict it. And if you have a connection with someone, it is what it is. But what
about height though? Specifically, we have a height requirement.
Well,
no short kings.
I think it's hard because like we all will have a requirement online, but like when you think back to when you're in junior high or high school, like that wasn't even a thing. Like you just like somebody. So if I met them in person, I think it's different. But if I'm going strictly online, then I want a guy that's like 5'10" or at least 6 footer. I mean, I love a good 6'4" guy, but like, or 6'3". But like, how many times people lie about their height too?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I'm just
All
like,
the
I
time.
don't know.
What are your icks? I know you're in a relationship, but what are your icks?
Oh,
because remember once,
How much
I remember
time
at
you
the
got?
beginning of this pod, you had an ick around something that guys do at the gym. That's an ick.
oh yeah, the
You got
elliptical.
ripped for that though.
The elliptical.
I got absolutely roasted.
But there was a context to that.
Yeah, there was it was because because I saw my ex-boyfriend on the elliptical crying once, and that just made it the
okay,
biggest
so
ick
that
ever.
was.
But then like, I mean, it just we're not even gonna go there. What is an ick for me?
On the social media.
On the social media. Oh my gosh. Selfies for sure with filters. Like you can tell.
Yeah.
Or if you can tell if they've enhanced to like, their jaw, like on Facetune, it's like, you don't even look like this. Like your jaw is way bigger than you are in person. And it's so close to the camera. Who are we looking at? No, actually, no, I don't even know why I'd ask. I can't say their name.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just fish photos. I hate that when you're fishing and you're actually like holding the fish.
Good
We get
point.
it. We get it. You're going fishing. Why do you need to show you in the fish? I
Yeah.
hate that. Or hunting.
probably don't have any
like
photos.
holding the dead deer. Like
Right.
Off.
I
Or
did
like
it.
a gun. It's
Yes.
like,
What are you doing? I don't like that. Exactly the same as Lisa. I
Yeah.
haven't really ever had anybody who's had an
you don't
ick
like when
social
people
media, though.
blow. Like, let's think back to that little window when you were single and you got irritated when someone like constantly texts you when you're like, give me some. Or what was that one ick you got?
Constantly texting.
Oh yeah, this was actually quite a big one. So he was gonna come here and visit me.
Okay.
Specific. Okay.
He's in Vancouver. I've known him forever.
Yeah.
And he was gonna come here for my birth or after my birthday or something. I don't know. And I was like, okay, yeah, this guy like looks good, whatever. But then I was freshly single. I'm like, this is clearly a rebound. This is like way too deep in. I'm sorry, please don't. I just need space. I just need the summer with my girlfriends, blah, blah, blah. But then it was like weekly check-ins. Like, hey, how's your summer? Like, are you ready to hang out again? Hey, so like, is there a time that works? I'm like, dude, you literally just agreed to giving me space. Like, that's too much.
She's like a salesperson.
Like clingy to
Yeah.
yeah.
And then even when I got into this new relationship, still like messaging, like, I'm like, can you not see like this is, I don't know. So just, holding on for dear life. Just let it go.
So what about, one of the things that I feel is a lost art is guys approaching girls like
Do you know what?
anywhere.
I've never, ever once in my life, I've had three serious relationships. And then now this one, and it's never been on an app. We've always organically met. All 3 of my last boyfriends, we met in Moose Jaw, which is crazy because not one of them is from Moose Jaw.
Weird.
But they were going through for hockey.
Men have confidence in Moose Jaw.
So, it's actually, there's apparently something in the water. It's crazy.
There is for sure.
But I just, for my son is 6, but I just hope that when he's like, of age, that he has the ability to
have
converse,
confidence.
have confidence, converse with a female.
Yeah, but you're super personable. Like you'll be, you can instill that in your kids.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I think our fathers, that was like, I just don't want, I feel like people just don't talk to each other anymore.
Yeah.
And now they're relying on the apps to facilitate a relationship. Yeah. I just don't think that's the best way to start a relationship.
Oh, it's brutal. And I think at the end of the day, women want to be approached and like, I'm old school. Like you want to feel.
But do
100%.
they?
Well,
I feel
so
like this
tough.
younger generation probably like, whoa, why are you?
You're right. You're right.
The
younger generation, for sure. Like Snapchat. You're talking on Snapchat. They don't even have each other's numbers.
It's almost like they want to know for sure that both are interested. It's kind of like, don't talk to me in person and then like follow you on Instagram. Oh, you get to follow back. Then it's like, oh, I got the go ahead. But it is kind of sad because like, then it kills chivalry. And even you see like, I think people get negative about dating then. It should just be fun. Like I find for some reason I've noticed whenever I travel, it's just so easy to meet people in person. I don't know what the difference is, but when you come home, it's harder. Like maybe it's like a vibe I put off or a vibe in the States or in Europe where it's just way more like people converse in person maybe than they do in Alberta. I don't know.
Well, Montreal, that's the telltale. Hopefully we come home with some great.
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear about your birthday Montreal trip.
Oh, it'll be an interesting time.
See, guys, this is what I'm talking about. This is what the
Give
pod
us some
was.
tea then, pal. Like, so you met your wife in high school.
Yeah, I met Deepa in high school. We had a little time where we broke up. We got to see other people, and then I realized very quickly that girls can be a little crazy. And then I'm like, I actually had a great thing, and she's amazing. We've been married since 2009.
Wow.
2010. Sorry, 2010.
Oh, wow.
We got engaged in 2009. And so it's been it's coming up 16 years. And it's incredible. That's why I love listening to your guys' stories because my wife and I can be like, you remember that time when we were, dating? And
does it make you even more like happy that you don't have to be single dating right now?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like Deepa and I, we met each other before like Instagram, before like Snapchat,
genuine connection,
before like Tinder or any of this stuff, right? So we have a genuine connection, and it's funny because Deepa and I have nothing in common. We don't have any shows, any music, any interest in common, but we talk all the time, and we were always chatting. We love like chatting and dreaming, and I love hearing what she's up to and what I'm up to. And it's like, I think because we come from completely different worlds that, we're always talking. And our kids are like, guys, can we chat? Like, guys, mommy and daddy are talking. So I'm hoping that our kids can see that, if your parents are talking and they communicate, then, that's
you're
how
essentially best friends. Like even
100%.
You try and find that like Sierra and I always talk, even though we spend every waking moment together, and you would want that in an apartment, like in a partner. That would be the key thing, I would think, above anything else.
And I think the other thing is like, she has been such a, like we're always dreaming. I wouldn't be nowhere without her. Right. And I think the most important business decision that you can make in your career is like choosing the right partner.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
That's advice
somebody
we keep
that's
hearing.
That's why I've held out this long.
yeah, I just being supportive of, because I've tried some crazy things throughout my life, and she's always been there to be like, yeah, let's go. And maybe some people would be like, no, we have to take our time and she's always been super supportive. And yeah, I super blessed.
Was it always smooth sailing? Like you broke up, obviously. Like, did you have to win her back, or did you have to were there other people?
I had to win her back. It was my bad. Yeah, I had to win her back. No, it was just like, I think we were when we were together at the beginning, I felt like we were just like one, and people would know us just as like one. And I think what we realized when we came back is that we should be individuals. We should be our own individuals. And I think she really grew, and I really grew. And I think this is the only time I've ever given any relationship advice. I don't think anybody comes to me for relationship advice. But like, if you're your own individual, I think that's the best, right?
Totally.
When you can come together with your own strengths. Like, she should be so strong to like she doesn't need me, and I don't need her, because we are just independently strong people. So yeah.
Cool. Interesting.
Anyways,
I love it. Well, we love that you gave us a little bit of tea to end things off, and it has been such a pleasure.
So fun.
Yeah.
Really
this
taking
has
us
been
out of our
fun.
comfort zone. And
I love this.
I like, you got us to open up a little bit, but also we got to know you even more than what we've got to know in hanging out at work. So it's such a pleasure to chat with you, and I'm so happy that we get to work in the same area with you.
love it. It's been such a pleasure. Like I said, rate, subscribe, whatever you got to do this pod. And appreciate you guys having me on.
Our promoter, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much, Shawn.
Thank you.
And I'm Sarah Yashchuk. Thanks for taking things off air.
And I'm Lisa McGregor. Take care.